Oh, great, jury duty. Man, I love court. It's awesome. Nothing is more entertaining than the worst happening and then figuring out whether the accused is popular enough or rich enough to avoid the proper punishment. America. Of course, the court at least tries to pretend it's fair and honest, so usually the court decides that it's best to call people who are completely uninvolved to get an honest perspective on all the parties involved. And this letter says that's what I'm doing this evening. I've already got one dream theory to worry about. I don't want to worry about another one.
What's up?
X-Pool, what did I tell you about being at my house while I'm awake?
Look, man, everyone's dreamscapes are open to everyone unless you lock your gate, and you didn't lock it.
Yeah, I'm okay with you coming to my dreamscape, but my house is off limits.
Dreamscape?
Oh, yeah, the reason I came out here was actually because Andy didn't get the letter.
I did get a letter, but all it said was that you'll be brought to another world in your sleep.
I told the Dream Council not to phrase it that way. That sounds so murdery.
Dream Council?
Okay, look, what you're experiencing right now is very natural.
That sounds a whole lot like puberty.
When you have a strong online presence, whether that's being a YouTuber or just socializing with people on Discord, your dreams transform into a network where you interact with people while you sleep.
It's like VR chat!
So, why is Cole a furry?
You know, that's a good question. We should ask him. Cole, why are you a furry?
I'm not a... Because these are networks of online personalities, you're represented by your persona or avatar. You can be a human in this world, but that's more up to you.
Yeah, just depends if you want to get in front of a green screen.
X-Pool, what did I tell you about breaking the fourth wall?
Okay, but what about dreamscapes?
Dreamscapes are your own personal hub. You can customize them based on your interest. Like me, for example. I'm a big fan of Transformers Prime, so my dreamscape has the core of Cybertron.
Yeah, and mine's filled with nuclear gases. And the moon's in half.
I see. But wait, this looks like the room in some of your videos.
Well, that's funny because it is the room in some of my videos.
So you film your videos in Dream World?
Yeah, why not? Even when I sleep, I still work. Oh shit, I'm running late to court.
Yeah, we better get going. The jury has probably even skipped over to the court already anyway. You better talk about something quick.
Shoot, you're right. Well, you know what I'm in the mood for while being a jury for murder? More murders!
Wait, what?
Death! Don't you love it when a franchise you really like just goes away out of nowhere and your first thought is,
why? 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 Why, oh God, fucking why?
Well, that's what we aim to explore today, as court can get really boring. By the way, X-Pool, you said we better get going. Are you part of the jury too?
Well, actually, I'm the judge.
Oh, well maybe then you can judge this first death. Okay, let's start off with one that's not too sad. Bubsy. Don't you dare shed a tear. Bubsy was never a good franchise. Never had any good games and therefore died RIP'd in Bozo Town after Bubsy 3D and then randomly came back in 2017 after we all thought he was going to be in Sonic Forces. You just had to be there. And then shortly after that, Bubsy was announced to be returning. It was a time to be alive. It was also a time for Bubsy to have another bad game. Yeah, Wooly Strikes Back wasn't horrible. The best Bubsy game probably, but no. The best thing about it is that you can shut him up. But yeah, this came out and then everybody's riffing on it and poking fun at the fact that Bubsy was back, and then I think it sold decently well. Not amazing, but not horrible. Did you know there was a sequel? I didn't.
This court will now come to order. Is the defense ready?
Ready, Your Honor.
Is the prosecution ready?
Yes, my apologies for my tardiness, Your Honor.
Ah, it's okay. Lawyers are always fashionably late. Besides, one of our jury members is missing.
Whew, sorry I'm late, Your Honor.
Ah, there he is, Mr. No Kite. Who spelled him as No Kite? Who made this list?
Oh no, it's this guy.
What?
It's nothing to do with them. They just want the death penalty for everything.
Oh.
Prosecutor, you may give your opening speech.
Where's the accused?
My client will be here. I have someone bringing him.
We have a suspected murderer on the loose?
Let's just continue without him. It'll be fine. Just start with your opening speech.
Yes, Your Honor. A few nights ago, we lost someone who was dear to Dreamworld, Marge Simpson.
I know I'm only watching this case, but you never explained how Homer Simpson is here.
Dreamworld is filled with fictional characters from each other's dreamscapes. They behave like humans, but think of them more as NPCs. We call them fics.
Oh.
First-degree murder. At the time of the crime, Homer Simpson and Marge Simpson were on a break from their marriage. And at that time, there were rumors that Marge Simpson and Ned Flounders were more than friends. Whether true or not, it's entirely possible that Homer Simpson, given his vulnerable state of mind, killed both Ned Flounders and Marge Simpson that night. The motive itself is evidence enough for my case to be poignant. That is all.
Alright, well, defense, your opening statement?
Certainly, Your Honor. Whatever that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you.
Oh, this is getting good.
While your opening speech was very impressive, let's keep the main language to a minimum. I'm sorry, I have to, follow the rules of this stupid book. Do whatever you want.
Whatever, nerd.
Your Honor, I object. This is entirely unprofessional, and that opening speech was entirely rude and, more importantly, argumentative.
Objection! Your face is argumentative.
Oh, that was really good. Sustained. You better watch yourself, man.
While speaking of argumentative, I have to say I think this guy's entire opening speech is completely argumentative as well. I mean, just because Homer and Marge had some quality time away from each other does not in any way give the prosecution any right to accuse Homer Simpson of murder.
Objection! I have way more than that, but just given the state of Homer's state of mind, I merely suggested that it's highly likely that Homer may have gone off the deep end and murdered his former partner, along with the person she was rumored to have relations with. And by the way, just off the record, this guy, I have a name. It's Prosecutor. And if you're going to treat this court with any type of profession like any good lawyer should, I suggest you use it along with more formal vocabulary.
Wait. Your name is Prosecutor?
It changes depending what I am in a case, and in this sense to you, I am Prosecutor.
Well, that's just stupid.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of stupid.
I can't say anything. My actual name is NitPicker.
Wait, that's your actual name?
Whether my name is stupid or not is completely beyond the point and argumentative. I am just saying that the defense is entirely making a mockery out of this court.
Oh, big words, big words. I can come up with a convincing case for this man using only a few small syllable words.
Go ahead then.
Cry about it.
Are you making fun of me?
I mean, hey, you're doing pretty good at that yourself with that ugly
Well, this might be a minute.
Well, now might be a good time to talk about another murder.
Yo, do you not see what's going on here? What could be better than this?
I can think of one. You know what's one platformer that shouldn't be dead? It's so funny about him too, because he literally came back after being dead for 8 long years and after this joke of a situation, and then it seemed like Mega Man was finally back in the ring. It seemed like they were doing a pattern. Release a collection of Mega Man games, then release the sequel, which is what they did for Mega Man 11, and it seemed to work. So now that we have Mega Man X Legacy Collection, we should be getting Mega Man X9, right? Right? The last collection we got was Mega Man Battle Network, which was sold for $60. I needed a routine laugh today. It's just so weird to me because Capcom needs a franchise like a Mega Man right now. They're arguably the rulers of the survival horror franchise with Resident Evil, have multiplayer games like Monster Hunter. Mega Man has such wide appeal and he could totally play ball with these guys, but Capcom won't let them in the field. Speaking of dead franchises that could fill a void, what about Bully? Bully was a really cool game by Rockstar. It's basically GTA, but you're a bully in a school, which is better than this, I guess. Why won't they make another Bully game? It's a great game for teenagers that can't play GTA because their stupid mom won't let them play a game with an M rating on the cover. Bring this back, that way you can cover more age ratings and not get into controversy all the time because you gotta hack a game to do a sex minigame that got cut from release. Bully's a much better game because instead of brainwashing our kids to become criminal masterminds, they become a bully and then mentally hurt students in a place where they're trying to learn what 3 times 2 is but can't due to a concussion. You know what's funnier than Mega Man being revived and dying again? Imagine hearing rumors that you're finally getting another game in your beloved franchise about a monkey and just waiting for it to get revealed again, and then you get Don't worry, Donkey Kong fans, you'll get your next game someday. Unlike Rayman.
That's funny. I know the right place to pick you.
Order in the court. Order in the court. Despite how entertaining that was, this has gone way too far, and we have rambled on about nothing.
My apologies, Your Honor. I guess I just came unprepared to work with the defense.
Well, maybe you should be the defense. I mean, after all, it's just a name change for you, isn't it?
My argument still stands, Your Honor. This man is no doubt guilty. The motive itself is undeniable.
Look, not only do I find that entirely unlikely...
Entirely?
But I'm also sick of going in circles like this. We've accomplished nothing but arguing about colors. Therefore, I have decided that I am removing Homer Simpson from the case.
Man, it was that easy?
Your Honor, I am 100% convinced that this man is the killer. I am sorry for my unprofessionalism. I just had a disagreement with a chauffeur I wanted to hire, so I came to court kind of heated. Please allow the case to continue, and I promise I'll work more with the defense, even if I find him unprofessional.
Yeah, sure. I've got nothing better to do.
Fine. You have 2 more days. And if I'm unconvinced, by the time that we move on, the book's blank. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what's going to happen after the 2 days. I don't know. Please, help me!
Very well, Your Honor. Thank you.
This court is now adjourned.
Oh, great. I can get out of Dream World. I gotta get my FNAF retrospective done.
I could be doing literally anything else.
Hey, before you go, NitPicker, one question.
Yeah, what's up?
Are fics held up to the same rules? I mean, why care if a fictional character is being murdered?
Well, fics still act like natural humans. We don't know a lot about them, but there was a time when they weren't treated as equals. Just mere entertainment for us humans, and people still think of them that way sometimes. However, most people, including me, agree that they behave like humans, they have thoughts, desires, dreams, and the such. Not a lot is known about them, though, but a lot of the community still believes that they should be treated as equals, not to mention the fact that they are characters that people love and treat like humans anyway.
Well, you sure f***ed up.
The only thing that's fucked up here is the fact that your victim gets to go another day without being in a high-max security prison. It'll be easy to prove his guilt. Mark my words. Where even is the victim anyway? You said you'd bring him.
Oh, God, no, it's Boost News.
Aw, come on, what's wrong with good old Lucifer? He's a great guy.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with him. It's just that he somehow always knows where I am.
Hello everybody, this is Boost, boosting news straight to your courtroom.
Oh, God damn it!
You're overthinking it. You just gotta go somewhere that he would never say.
You're right. I've got it.
Earlier today, Homer Simpson was suspected of murdering Marge Simpson and Ned Flanders a few nights ago. Now people have reported that they have seen him on the streets, with one claiming he saw Homer Simpson getting in a car with his friend, Krusty the Clown.
He's fled! He's a fugitive!
Or maybe he went to go get Subway.
Either way, the police will get him.
I am not banking on that. The defense already claimed they were bringing Homer, and you unjustifiably trusted him. I am chasing after him myself.
Are you nuts, man? Because look, I think you're nuts.
You!
What, me?
Be my chauffeur. We're chasing him down and I need a driver.
But I legally can't drive.
It's Dream World. Everyone can drive.
It's true. I once had a baby taxi drive me. He forgot to use his blinker, so I had to let him know.
Okay, fine. But you can't expect me to drive for free.
I'll give you $10,000 for this week.
$12,000 and health benefits.
I can only afford dental.
Oh yeah, so if he gets in a wreck while you're driving, you can at least get your teeth cleaned.
Now get going, we can't lose him. Imagine, if you will, you're a pretty successful franchise with a thriving community of people that love you, and then your publisher takes an enemy that becomes more popular than the main character, so much so that not only does the enemy collab with Super Mario, and then you get added to that collaboration as mere DLC.
I just want to talk to him.
Why do you have a
Rayman fans, I'm sorry. It's such a shame because people love Rayman and he has an awesome design and his games are really cool. He had a similar life to that of Mega Man, though he did fare a bit better than he did. He got 2 games before he died again.
This is Boost, boosting news straight to you, even to the OG Fire Mountain, specifically before Roshi Kamehameha'd. And we've been following the Homer Simpson car chase, where it seems Prosecutor is trying to chase him down on what appears to be a Mario Kart track on a local dreamscape. The local had to say this.
Yeah, at first I was like, get off my lawn, but then I saw how interesting this car chase was, and I was like, what the heck? Tracks are meant for racing. Pull up that chair, grab some popcorn, and watch the show.
A show indeed it is. Let's get a closer look at the chase.
Shouldn't we be gaining on him? He's gonna get away.
Patience to those who wait. What's your name anyway?
My actual name is Andy, but you can call me to Wildcard.
I'm just gonna call you my wild card from now on. And get spelling lessons. You don't spell the that way.
Hey, that's his internet lingo. Get it right.
We got a signal.
You don't deserve to get hurt. No one is gonna get hurt. All I did was love Marge.
That's enough. I've got what I need.
So wait, what does that mean?
It means the suit's coming off.
Ugh, I hate when he does that.
Dude, you gotta stop! Homer has broccoli and he's gonna choke on it!
The only thing he should choke on is justice!
Give
Shut up, Homer. We're gonna stop you and you'll look much worse in front of the court.
You can't prove I'm the one that stabbed her.
Dude, are you okay?
Know this area. There's an intersection straight up ahead.
So?
It's time to try Operation Dead End.
We don't even know if you'll be able to stop the car.
Are you doubting me?
Well, I'm worried.
Good. That way I look better when I do it. Just keep the car going straight. Make sure it gets to that intersection.
This Andy guy won't get off my ass!
Yeah, it's almost like he wants us to keep going
straight ahead!
Wait here. The police will be here soon.
Yo.
We have just received word that the prosecutor has managed to catch up with Homer and stop the car, and the suspect is now being arrested on site. Joining us now is Unleash and Daveron with a Dreamworld community update. Unleash?
Thank you, Boost. We have just uncovered a shocking revelation. Studies show that people who like Sonic Unleashed have dropped a staggering 35%. And
way to go, guys. Let's shoot for 40.
Finally, some good news on the news network. But we've been talking dumb kids games. And Bully. Let's talk about some real games. Infamous. I've never played Infamous. I want to. I really do. Why haven't I, though? Because there's no way to play them, and it doesn't even seem like that's changing anytime soon, because Sony doesn't seem to care about it. The last Infamous game we got was the infamous Second Son in March of 2014, which means in a few months it'll be 10 years since a new game came out. Now, the obvious culprit is this thing. Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of... Don't get me wrong, it's a great game, but man, does one franchise have to suffer for another? Yes. But hey, Titanfall may be beloved, but at least it's not a classic franchise that has been dormant for years. Yeah, we got a similar situation going on here, except it's with Mario Kart. Now, Mario Kart didn't immediately spell death for F-Zero, as it's still gotten games on both the N64 and the GameCube, with the best game in the series, F-Zero GX, and if you're surprised about that, you'll also be surprised it was developed by Sega. But by the time Mario hit massive success with Mario Kart Wii, basically making it a household name, yeah, that was the end of F-Zero, as Nintendo has stated multiple times they don't know how to let F-Zero and Mario Kart coexist. You know what? They're right, because these audiences do overlap a lot.
Homer J. Simpson, you are under arrest.
I didn't do it. I could not and would not have committed this crime.
You did it, man. That was awesome.
Not only did I do it, but I scoped out the vehicle they escaped in and found some interesting things in it. A passport, a humorous disguise, adhesive to put on said disguise, a weapon, and a plane ticket to one of the most remote dreamscapes in Dreamworld?
I'd like to remind you, you have the right to remain silent.
I choose to waive that right.
After all this, I'm sure that the judge will have to deem the victim not guilty.
Bro just wanted a Sunday drive. I don't blame him.
I think we're missing the bigger picture here. Who would commit these horrible murders? That goes against our beloved Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and my client is definitely not one of those liberals.
My long sacred duty is to sniff out every single liberal I can. Or at least that's what the book says. That's not actually my true talent. And book aside, I'm gonna be real. I just don't get that from Homer Simpson.
Yeah, and I mean, well, I hate to say this out loud in front of my client, but it's clear that Homer isn't at the peak of his life anymore. Clearly, he's not in the shape to hurt anyone, let alone kill two people.
Fine. If you all want to come up with excuses for him, that's fine. We're settling this just like any other court case. I call Homer Simpson's getaway driver to the stand. Please state your name for the court.
I'm Krusty the Clown.
Did you talk to the accused during the time Marge Simpson was murdered?
I was the one that told him about it.
Oh, really? Can you tell the court exactly what you said when you told him?
Actually, I have a recording of it. I was recording another thing and left my screen recorder on.
Please play it for the court then.
Homer, I have some very bad news.
What is it?
It's Marge. She's dead.
Oh my god. Marge is dead? Who killed her?
That's enough, sir. You may step down. Doesn't Your Honor question how off it feels that the accused asked how someone was murdered, even though it was never said to them that someone murdered her?
Nah, sounds normal to me. I'm a Sonic fan.
Okay, then. Did anyone happen to see Homer during the time Marge was murdered? Anyone? Well, that shows that...
Well, I don't know if this will help, but I saw him afterwards.
Really? Approach the court. State your name.
Oracle.
And what relation do you have to Homer?
I was his Uber driver that night.
To where?
To the airport on a flight to another dreamscape. Chicago.
What are you guys doing in my dreamscape?
Did anything peculiar happen when you picked him up?
Actually, yeah.
What was it exactly?
I arrived shortly after the murder would have taken place, and Homer was running really late getting into the car. So late I was about to leave, and honestly I was about to. But something had caught my eye.
Pray tell?
I thought I saw a shadowy figure. I remember I kept buzzing at him to come out so we could leave. I had to hurry up and get this over with so I could catch that new episode of Secret Invasion, if you know what I'm saying.
Objection! No being alive actually watches that show?
Overruled. People watch Hermie and Friends. They've seen that. You know, the song, oh, I'm Buzz Bee and I'm the king of the bees.
And what of the shadowy figure?
Oh, yeah. I looked a bit, but became distracted for just a second, and it disappeared. I thought I was seeing things. I would have left, but honestly, I was shook from it, and then I buzzed one last time. And Homer finally answered, and then we left.
Did Homer say why he didn't answer your intercom?
He said that he overslept, but I'll be honest with you, he did not sound like he was.
And finally, can you describe the shadowy figure?
He was definitely below 6 feet, and with how much weight he had on him, it was clear he had to be over 200 pounds. And the dude was bald, except for 2 weird strands of hair at the top.
Before you step down, I would like you to look up and recite Homer Simpson's canon height and weight for the court.
Objection! No need to shame my client like that. That's personal information.
That's pretty private, especially according to the book. I don't think we should...
5'9" and 239 pounds.
That's taller than Luke's station!
Oh, I'm sorry. Did y'all say something?
Absolutely not. Thank you for your unattentive listening, Mr. Oracle.
Thanks. I think.
You may step down now. Well, I think we got this one in the bag, if I do say so myself.
You do speak for yourself, because I'm still not claiming him as guilty.
Yeah, no, me neither.
He could not look more innocent if he tried.
Timmy Turner wouldn't think he's guilty.
Tara Strong might, though, regardless of evidence.
Yo, who the fuck spit in my burger?
How do you explain the shadowy figure?
Oh, please. You really think just because Homer Simpson is below 6 feet, over 200 pounds, is bald except for 2 hair strands, you think it has to be Homer?
Kinda.
Very narrow-minded thinking.
Fine. Well, I've got one more day to prove his guiltiness, even if I already have. But mark my words, tomorrow I will bring unquestionable evidence to prove he's guilty. Come on, wild card. Court adjourned.
Hey, that's my line.
Hey, that's my line!
Oh my gosh, Sonic the Hedgehog in my courtroom?
Going back to franchises, constantly going back and forth from the dead, Spyro the Dragon. Let me take it back to a year where the PlayStation 1 classic Crash Bandicoot was getting his original trilogy of games remade with Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Everyone was pretty happy and satisfied. Well, until they started asking, hey, wait a minute, what about that dragon that looks like a grape? Then came Spyro the Dragon Reignited and everyone was happy again. Then people started asking, where's CTR Remake? Got that. Okay, where's Crash Bandicoot 4? Got that. Okay, where's Spyro 4? And then they got, oh. Yeah, it's been years since Spyro Reignited, and we have heard no mention or word of a new Spyro the Dragon, but hey, Toys for Bob is probably cooking up something real good for Spyro. Thankfully, this might be changing. With the recent Microsoft acquisition, and I'm pretty sure I saw them say they're going to let anybody, whoever develops Call of Duty, will let them leave. I swear I saw this article once, but I don't know. I just hope it's true, not only so Toys for Bob can work on better games again, but also High Moon Studios can come back. Come on, baby, this is my chance! Resurrect the Transformers Cybertron games! Please, Microsoft, you have the chance! You have the chance to make me happy! Just take the chance! Speaking of Microsoft, hey buddy, you want to bring Banjo back already? I kind of understand Conquer. That might not work as well in the current day, as the cute character becoming crude and horrible just doesn't work really well today. But we need Banjo back, man. You not remember how much hype there was when Banjo came back? I do! Just make one, for goodness sake. Also, hey Valve, you mind making another game? Just anything. Doesn't even have to show you know how to count to 3, because literally anything that's not a card game will do.
So, what are we doing here in Homer's yard?
We're finding any evidence we can to prove Homer's guilt.
Are you so sure he did it?
Don't ask me that.
Okay, geez, man.
Just keep your eyes peeled for anything that may look suspicious, and make sure not to touch any of it when you do find it.
Alrighty. Hey, by the way, what's your online presence anyway? You have a YouTube channel or something?
Cannot say I do.
Oh, then you must have Discord or something.
Can't say I have that either. I spend most of my time researching cases, so I don't have much time for anything.
Huh. When did you get your letter then?
Letter?
Your letter that says you've been granted access to the dream world?
You don't get a letter, it just happens. Oh my, wild card, look at this!
What is it?
It's a knife, with blood all over it.
Holy, that must be the murder weapon.
Indeed it very well might be, in his yard.
Wait, look there, there's a knitted hat and gloves too.
Contact the Department of Evidence right away. We got him. But now let's divert the conversation and let's talk about franchises that aren't dead, but are basically walking corpses at this point. Well, we talked about Spyro. What about Crash? Crash Bandicoot 4 didn't sell too awfully well. It didn't do horrible, but compared to Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, it didn't do so hot. So what did Activision say in response? Multiplayer battle game, people! That's what everyone wants, right? Listen, if you like this game, I don't care. But this is not what Crash Bandicoot needs. Nothing about this screams Crash Bandicoot. It's like if you pointed a gun at someone's head and told them to make a Crash Bandicoot multiplayer game. And yeah, it works. I played the free trial earlier this year and it was okay, I think. But not something I want from Crash Bandicoot, and I have a feeling most Crash fans agree with me. And I don't think Crash Team Rumble is going to do all that well. If it does, I'll eat my shorts, but I'm not counting on it, and because of that, Activision is probably going to throw Crash Bandicoot back into the wolves again. Unless Microsoft gives Crash another chance and makes a good Crash game that we actually want. Well, I just lost faith. Halo was a revolutionary game back on the Xbox, had an amazing sequel that was even better, and then brought it all to a conclusion with Halo 3. Yet after some prequel games, Microsoft decided to create an entire development team just to continue making Halo games, and it just doesn't feel right anymore. From what I heard, Halo Infinite's campaign is okay. I've only played a little bit, but it just didn't launch with enough features because they wanted to transition the Halo series into a live service, which isn't the worst idea on paper, but they butchered it because they take away features from previous games and then add them in later and people just don't care anymore. It's a shame too. Not the biggest shame is Pokemon. I'm gonna choose my words carefully here as I have friends that genuinely love Pokemon and didn't mind the newer game Scarlet and Violet. I want to be nice, but face it guys, the Pokemon company doesn't care about you anymore. I have my doubts about Game Freak as they have its own issues, but the Pokemon company for sure does not care about the video game branch of the Pokemon business. With each passing entry, they keep losing impact until they finally seem like they had something going and then they release this garbage, because that's all they care about. They want to release these games just so they don't have to delay the plushies, the anime series, the comic book, whatever Pokemon has at this point. Listen, if you like Scarlet and Violet, okay, I won't judge you much, but you can't deny that these games were not made with heart. From Game Freak maybe, but the Pokemon company doesn't care anymore. Releasing this. Think about this. Pokemon is the only flagship Nintendo franchise with a really bad game. Seriously think about that. And while you're at it, if you think the Pokemon company doesn't care about Pokemon games, try EA with Madden. I'll give Pokemon this. At least they attempt to make a new game every year. Madden, EA just keeps selling you the same exact game again and again and again and not updating the core formula or even improving on features from previous games. Most of these modern games are outclassed by Madden 2003 on the PlayStation 2. Call of Duty used to be the pinnacle of first-person shooters with new fresh mechanics and campaign each and every year, but they just keep getting worse because they keep milking it and not truly innovating on any of the games. Mario sports games used to be so cool, but the Switch games have been disappointment after disappointment. And while we're at that, Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. 3 dream events? Really? Oh, and don't even get me started about Konami. Metal Gear Survive.
Hey, can you keep it down over there? And you, don't subscribe to Boost Mobile. I know they have unlimited text data, but don't do it.
Judge Xpool hates Boost Mobile. This is gonna go great in my newspaper.
The thing about video game death is, unlike humans, sometimes death doesn't last. Telltale recently came back from the dead, and I don't think anyone in a million years saw that coming. Sonic the Hedgehog was a walking corpse there for a while, but Sonic Frontiers genuinely shows they're getting things back on track, and hopefully it stays that way. Killer Instinct came back a few years ago, and people seem to like it. Wolfenstein came back after Doom basically overshadowed it. Baldur's Gate was dead for 2 whole decades, and then came back with arguably the greatest game ever made. The cult classic Alan Wake is getting a sequel. Armored Core, Luigi's Mansion 3 a few years ago, and tons more examples. With a little bit of love from the community and a little bit of luck, just plain faith, franchises both alive and dead can come back no matter how they were dead in the first place.
We've got everything back from the Department of Evidence.
And what came back?
You're never gonna believe this. They did testing on the blood, and not only did they find traces of Marge and Ned's DNA, but they also found Homer's as well. Not only that, they found fibers of Homer's 2 hairs on the hat as well.
You're serious?
I'm totally serious, dude. DOE also told me that someone found a shoe print in Marge's driveway that matched Homer's shoe size, and even linked it up with shoes he bought recently.
Oh, Homer and that sad excuse for a defense is finally over.
By the way, speaking of them, what's going on over there?
I am a man that has far too much money that I'm willing to spend on literally anything to rub in the face of people that also have far too much. So if you are deemed guilty, I have made the decision to pay the bail for you, my fellow. At the very least, you won't have to wallow in a jail cell until your sentencing. You'd bail someone out even if they killed their ex-wife? Oh, you don't know the half of it, my dear boy. Just last year I bailed out someone far more infamous.
We will now conclude the final day of Homer Simpson's trial over the We will now conclude the final day of Homer Simpson's trial over the murder of Marge Simpson and Ned Flanders. Man, I forgot Ned died. Come on. Sorry. Is the defense ready?
You know it.
Is the prosecution ready?
I came fully prepared, Your Honor.
Very well. Get on with it. I'll be playing Sonic Origins if anybody needs me.
Yesterday, I paid a little visit to the house of Homer Simpson to do some investigating, and I have found some very interesting items.
Subway gift cards?
No. I found 3 items in his backyard, close to where Oracle claimed he saw the shadowy figure that matched the victim's description. And what did I find? A knitted hat, a pair of gloves, and a knife with blood all over it. The Department of Evidence did DNA testing and found not only the murder victim's DNA, but Homer's as well. You're absolutely done, Homer. You can't disprove the DNA samples. You are finished! And I, for one, believe he should be made an example of, to show that even celebrities cannot escape the wrath of justice, no matter how much even the universe plays into your favor.
Hold it!
Ah, do you have even more evidence of the obvious?
There's been a mishandling of the evidence. Before we could perform a DNA analysis, the objects were mishandled and not packaged properly. On top of the mishandling, the murder weapon was left in a van, within unfavorable conditions.
Thank you for telling us this, but it changes nothing about the evidence provided.
Not with that attitude, it doesn't.
Yeah, I'll admit you had me going there for a second. I actually almost thought Homer did it.
What do you mean, almost?
It seems that the jury dismisses the evidence as contaminated.
Ah, yes, we all know that leaving blood in a hot van can change the molecular structure of DNA to make it look like someone else's.
Do you see that, Judge? Even the forces of nature are after my client.
No, it isn't. Homer committed these murders. Homer's DNA was at the scene of the crime. There is no forces of nature after your client. The truth hurts. And the truth is that anyone, no matter if you're fict or a celebrity, oppressed or not, we're all equal and therefore are capable of committing things we could never dream of doing. Just because we're in an age where ficts need to be represented does not mean we should let them be free of any wrongdoing they may do. Just because someone who's in a group that's being oppressed is being punished for wrongdoing makes them no different than any of you being punished for wrongdoing. We all make mistakes, and unfortunately a few of us make bigger mistakes. And sometimes we just do plain wrong. If we're striving to be equal with ficts, which we definitely should, if we are to uphold the belief of ficts and their equal sentience, then we must uphold them to our same jurisdictions. This man, Homer Simpson, did kill another fict, and I'm sure all of you know that as well. He needs to be disciplined for it, just like the rest of us would. No more and no less.
He could try on the glove.
See? It doesn't fit. If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit!
That glove has been heated and has dried blood on it. If you can imply the logic that heat can change the structure of shells, surely you could follow basic science. This man is unquestionably guilty.
Oh, so if he's unquestionably guilty, then, why are we questioning it?
Oh, he got you there.
With all the evidence coming as either inconclusive or contaminated, jury?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Homer Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
Yeah, woohoo! We won! Eat shit, loser!
And in celebration, please buy my new book, If I Did It. A book that recounts the events as they would have hypothetically occurred if I had committed the crime. Which I did not.
You cannot be serious.
Put me down on pre-order, baby. I haven't been this excited for a pre-order since, ever, actually.
This whole court was maddening. An absolute joke in the faces of people that made Dreamworld the way it is. It's clear that the courtroom is a popularity contest or making jurisdictions look good, not for seeking justice. It is for that reason I resign my role as a lawyer, effective immediately.
Huh. That dude's such a short for
So what do you think you'll do now, then?
I'm not sure. Well, seems like that's over. Honestly, I'm kind of 50-50 on the situation, so I don't know if I'm happy with this case or not.
Yeah, but it was a pretty fun court case. Many twists and turns like any good mystery.
You said it. But now I just can't wait to get to... Hey, you, look out! Huh? Oh, whoa. I almost tripped. Thanks for that, man. I need my face. No problem. Fast reflexes, though. You're like Spider-Man. So yeah, anyway, I'm just happy to go home. I got a lot of work to do.
Are you okay?
My eye. It turned golden and I saw him fall.
Like a golden eye? Like 007 golden eye?
What did you say?
Golden eye?
No, before that.
007?
007. That's it, Andy. I'll be a secret agent, above the law, making sure criminals like Homer get their proper punishment.
That sounds awesome. Let's go.
Not so fast, Andy. I'd like to be rid of this entire experience, and I wouldn't be too upset if I never saw anyone in this courtroom ever again. That includes you, so go back to your normal life. You're a terrible driver anyway.
I was never legally allowed to drive in the first place!
Well, that sure was an experience. I even picked up Homer's new book to remember the occasion. Though Flounder's family managed to get a hold of the rights for it and they changed the cover, man, lawsuits can really affect creative talent.